Hi, Dr. Alina Kulchitsky, Boutique Bodyworks, Physical Therapy, Lifestyle Medicine, Nutrition, Fitness, and more. Today, I'm going to show you a recipe to help get more legumes in your diet. It's super easy. It's very shareable. So I'm bringing this to a small birthday gathering this evening. It's summer, so salads are always a great choice. So we're going to make kind of like a Cowboy Caviar. So it's going to have black beans and black-eyed peas and some veg, but I'm going to change up the dressing, and I'm going to do a different dressing, a tahini lime-based dressing. And we'll see how this turns out because I've never made it before. Got the recipe for the dressing on Pinterest, so let's experiment. So first of all, let me show you what I've got started here. So I previously made some black-eyed peas, so I have 2 cups in here, or 15 ounces, which is the equivalent of 1 can. So you can buy canned legumes and use that instead. And then I have, well, it called for 1.5 cups of corn, but I've got at least 2 cups in here. I just thought I might as well use up the bag of frozen organic corn that I have. If you eat corn products, make sure it's organic because it's such a highly dosed in pesticide crop. So I've got that. And then I have black beans. So there's 2 cups or 15 ounces, so just under 2 cups, a can worth of black beans. And that's the basic meat of it, so to speak. So this is going to be your protein and your nice high fiber, complex carbohydrate base of the salad. So next we're going to just add the veg. So just mix that up. It's already nice and pretty. Looking like caviar, right? Okay, so we're going to put in, it calls for half a red onion and half a green pepper, but I'm going to use orange pepper instead. It's what I have on hand and nice and high in antioxidants. So I've already trimmed the red onion, but let's make this nice and thinly diced. I'm not the most patient with chopping and dicing, so mine tend to be bigger pieces than usually recipes call for, but I will do my best. Okay, so red onion is pretty healthy for us, not to mention it adds nice flavor. So the allium family, onion and garlic, are high in sulfur compounds. Sulfur is the necessary element in all cellular metabolism. All cellular activity requires methylation processes to make things happen, which methylation means, for those who aren't in the chemistry know, needing sulfur. It requires sulfur. So the allium family is a rich source of that. Also, apparently, according to studies, help reduce the effects of mold. So if you're allergic or sensitive to mold, and we have plenty of it down here in South Texas, despite being, hot and dry in the summer, I suffer from mold allergies all year round. And allium family has proven to eating it daily help with that. Okay, so we have our half a cup of that chopped. You could do it thinner, smaller, to make it a little less potent when you individually eat this salad, but yeah, I tend to be a little bit less patient. So the red pepper, orange pepper, it's got lots of beta carotene. So beta carotene is an antioxidant. It helps reduce oxidative stress, which is a natural process of cellular metabolism, because it is the waste product of cellular metabolism. So to deal with those free radicals, or those oxygen ions floating around in our bodies, banging around and causing damage, we want to scoop them up by attaching them to antioxidants, which come from all kinds of colorful plants, and beta carotene is an excellent one for that job. So beta carotene is in orange and red vegetables and fruits. Next, we're going to put in 2 tomatoes. And of course, I buy all my produce where possible organic because I don't like to consume pesticides, and eating organic is a significantly lower in pesticide load product versus conventional. It's not different in nutritional value, but it is in terms of pesticide load. And we are learning that pesticides are causing all kinds of autoimmune diseases, including Parkinson's. It can be a factor, a trigger, and cancers, of course. So if we can eat less of it, why not give our body that advantage, right? So again, I am a bit of a messy chopper. Other people, I'm sure, will do a much more beautiful job than me. And that's just one. We're going to add a second. I love eating this kind of salad. I make my own versions every day, but I am using this recipe from Pinterest, which is the common recipe for Cowboy Caviar. I've been making my own version of this, gosh, since many, many moons ago living in Canada. And because as a vegetarian, it's just such a great way to get legumes and lots of vegetables in one meal. So my dinner is often some form of this in the summer months, with maybe a corn tortilla that has nothing but corn and water, organic corn, or maybe a sweet potato on the side, or mixed in for my starch. Maybe some pumpkin seeds thrown in there for some extra protein and healthy fats. I'm going to put just a little bit of jalapeno because the dressing I'm making today has some chili pepper in it. So we don't want to overdo the heat, especially I'm bringing this to share with other people, not knowing what their tolerance is. So I'm just using up from my garden a tiny bit of jalapeno, but the recipe for Cowboy Caviar is a whole jalapeno minced. Jalapeno is the capsaicin family. Capsaicin is a natural chemical in chili peppers, the whole world of chili peppers, that can have antioxidant effects as well, but also help with other things, including being antibacterial and antiviral, helping our immune system. Okay, hopefully that's minced small enough. It is better to mince smaller to disperse the flavor. So if you have an ingredient that is pretty strong, whether it's a bitter or spicy hot, then making it smaller helps you to disperse it throughout, you know, the food item, the meal you're making, and make it much more palatable. So I've already pre-washed some organic cilantro, which is this. It looks like parsley, but it isn't. It's a nice pungent kind of aroma. Some people taste soap when they consume cilantro or coriander seeds, which are the seeds from cilantro. That's just a genetic thing, so some people can't tolerate it because of that. I have to say, I felt that way when I was very first introduced to cilantro, but it changed over time. I don't know why, and now I love it. So know that even maybe at first something, your body just chemically doesn't enjoy that flavor, maybe in time it changes. Certainly does with children, right? So that's why it's important to introduce kids to all kinds of flavors young and to keep reintroducing them. Just because the first time they try it, they don't like it, doesn't mean that's going to be them forever. And the more diverse foods they enjoy, the better their health will be. So it's supposed to be half a cup of cilantro. Now again, the dressing for this one is supposed to be like olive oil and, gosh, I don't remember, a bunch of other stuff. More like a red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar based with sugar. Well, you know me and sugar. I'm really not a fan of it. It causes all kinds of inflammation in the body, and there's just other ways to get flavor than sugar. Why do we always go to sugar and salt? Because it's cheap and easy? Well, it's not good for our body. It causes our blood sugar and insulin to increase. Yes, salt also causes an insulin spike. Makes your liver react as if you've got high blood sugar, and so it's not good for you metabolically. Which is why it's better to make your own food and control the sugar and salt content which really doesn't have to be involved at all. There's so much better ways to get flavor. So we've got that beautiful, colorful salad, all kinds of colors of the rainbow to feed the diverse good bacteria in our gut. Great fiber. The more colors of fiber in your meal or in your day, if you can't get it all in one meal, the better. So now we'll make the dressing. And as I said, we're going to try a different one, tahini based. What is tahini, you may ask? Well, it is sesame seed, kind of like a sauce. It's basically ground sesame seed. So I bought this product at H-E-B for those who live in Texas. That's a chain of a grocery store. This product is non-GMO, so it's not organic, but it is at least non-GMO. If you can't get organic, that's the next best thing. But this is gluten-free, it's plant-based, of course, because it's made out of sesame seeds. This is just a puree of roasted sesame seed, and that's it. So we're going to put in 1/4 cup. So I've got a little tiny bowl to make my dressing. So let's pour in about 1/4 cup. I'm just eyeballing it. You know, I've been cooking for a long time. So is it going to be exact? Of course not. But when it comes to things in the cooking frame, it doesn't have to be. It's only with baking that it needs to be. It is a little bit messy. I got some drips. Okay, so set that to the side. What else goes in here? It asks for garlic powder. Normally I would rather use fresh garlic, but it's my first time making it, so I'm going to do it exactly according to the recipe. And in the future, definitely, if I like this recipe, make it with real garlic. So I've got some organic garlic powder. It calls for 1/2 teaspoon. So let's go ahead and pour that out. Also calls for 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. Paprika is made from roasted red pepper, if you didn't know. So 1/2 teaspoon of that. And then a full teaspoon of chili powder. So I have some of that, organic. Now, when you're eating your plants in the day, you want to try to get at least 30 different kinds of plants in your intake. That includes herbs and spices. You know, in the modern North American diet, or Western diet, we could even say, people are not getting very much plants anymore, and they certainly aren't getting much herbs and spices, eating mostly processed foods, ready-made foods in boxes, frozen or canned, or from takeout, eating out, or what have you. So that's unfortunate, because the herb and spice world is really a plethora of natural medicine. You know, it comes with all kinds of great ingredients that help us prevent and fight disease. They are anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, which can help prevent many diseases, especially the chronic ones that we suffer from in the Western world. So no wonder, if we're eating less of these things, that in part we have more of these diseases. So I'm just incorporating that, and you can see the amount of thickness of it so far. Now all we have to add is salt and lime. I'm going to add salt last. So let's do the lime first. 2 whole limes, the juice of. So I've got some fresh organic limes. Citrus, of course, has vitamin C, also an antioxidant, a very powerful one. And note that there's no evidence taking extra vitamin C in a supplement form is beneficial. The only supplements worth taking according to science are vitamin D, as in dog, vitamin D, omega-3, and for vegetarians and vegans, B12, B as in Bob, 12. And if you're older, and so likely not getting an adequate nutrient intake, as people tend to eat less as they get older, a multivitamin. Other than that, that's it. Everything else can be done through food. So don't waste your money. Eat a whole food plant-based diet. Doesn't mean you have to be vegetarian or vegan, but means most of your plate comes from plants, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes, and nuts and seeds. know that getting legumes daily is one of the factors they believe to be why in the blue zones people live so healthy and long with high quality life, low in disease. So it's really important to get those legumes every day. So try to get in a cup of beans or lentils in your diet daily. This recipe is a great way to do that. It's quite a bit of lime juice. It does tell you in the recipe you can thin this dressing with water if needed. I don't think we're going to need that because it's quite a bit of liquid getting out of these 2 limes. I guess it depends how ripe and healthy the limes are you have, right? Sometimes you can buy limes and they're pretty dried out. It's always disappointing when that happens. Okay, last half. So again, that's 2 whole limes squeezed all the juice out of. I probably could get more juice out of it if I used like a hand juicer. Almost there. I love how refreshing limes smell. Talk about aromatherapy. You know, I use limes or lemon juice in the morning in my underarm area as a natural deodorant. That's what people used to use before we invented deodorants. And I don't know about you, but I don't think deodorants work very well. You have to reapply them, especially if you've been sweating and hot. And since I started using, the fleshy side, rub it under your arms each day, because I do hot water with lemon in the morning, so I just use the inside fleshy part for my underarms in the morning. It works better than deodorant that you buy. So, hey, you save money, you have something completely natural, reducing the chemical load on your body. It's a win-win all around. Okay, so let's stir that up nice and well. Super simple. Smells so refreshing. Okay, so this is what we got in terms of consistency. So you could add water if you want to make it more thin. Let's taste it. Interesting. Definitely taste the lime, definitely taste the tahini, like a strong sesame flavor. Now let's add some salt. I have my Redmond's salt that comes from that basin in Utah from the Jurassic period, so it has all kinds of minerals in it. That was maybe 1/4 teaspoon. Now if you're making this for other people, to share with other people, remember their palates may not be as adapted as yours to being low sugar, low salt. So you might want to consider that when you add your ingredients. They'll be good to you. It might not be, tasty enough to others who aren't so adapted. Oh, it smells good. Wow. Okay, let's try this again. That's tasty. I like it. Not everybody might like sesame, so know that too. I do. I love sesame. Such a nice, earthy, tasty kind of flavor. So we're going to add this into the salad. Don't want to waste any. Let's scoop all those good ingredients in. So we've got some nice healthy fats in here from the sesame seed provided by the tahini. Tahini is a Middle Eastern ingredient, culinary ingredient used in a lot of sauces. And it's got lots of good healthy fats for you, including vitamin E, another antioxidant. E as in Edward, the trienol family. So we're mixing that up. Looks really good. So it makes it look creamy, but we didn't have any dairy at all to make a creamy dressing. So consider that when you want to have a creamy dressing. Tahini could be a way to go. instead of dairy if you're trying to reduce your cholesterol. So this is a completely vegan meal, actually, when I think about it without trying. It's not just plant-based, it's plant only. We got our legumes, we got some corn, tomatoes, orange pepper, jalapeno, and then our dressing of tahini and lime with a little bit of spices, garlic powder, paprika, and chili powder, and a little bit of salt. That's it. Super simple. Took me 20 minutes to whip up. Probably would have been less time if I wasn't talking so much. Let's have a little taste. Okay, let's try it out. Pretty tasty. That's a meal in one. I could eat this by itself without needing to pair anything next to it. Oh yeah, and the red onion, don't forget that. That adds flavor too. So, hope that inspires you. Play with your ingredients. You could use other kinds of beans. You could use other veg. You could use a different kind of dressing, different kinds of herbs and spices. But you get the idea. Some legumes, some veg, and then a dressing with herbs and spices using some natural fats. We could sprinkle some pumpkin seeds if we didn't use a tahini dressing, for example, for natural fats. We could use olive oil with the pumpkin seeds. You could sprinkle on some hemp seeds. So many ways. You could add avocado or make avocado-based dressing. So many different things you could do to play with it, but hopefully that gives you some ideas. Check out my other recipes, share with your friends and family, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. You'll have access to all my nutrition videos, which show you how to make real food from scratch, not complicated, not a lot of time, and feed you and your family nice healthy meals for better health, better living. Bye for now.